The friend zone, a particularly aggravating metaphorical place that people end up in when someone they are interested in only wants to be friends. It is impossible to get over someone while in the friend zone because as friends you still see them too often for them to be erased from your memory, and yet you cannot be with them in the way that you want. Yeah, it's Urban Dictionary. Fuck you. I feel like I don't need to say this, but I'm gonna say it. The friend zone is absolutely horrible, especially if you really like that person. But it's something we all will inevitably go through in our lives, and it's just something we have to deal with and move on from. I think a big pet peeve of mine is when somebody is put into the friend zone and they're so persistent about getting out, but that person has made it very clear that they're probably not going anywhere. Yeah, it really, really hurts to be in the friend zone, but you gotta take that L and you gotta move on. Personally, I would much rather be with someone who wants to be with me right from the start than someone who was on the fence. However, that doesn't mean I haven't been put in the friend zone before. I've actually been put in the friend zone quite a few times. And trust me, yeah, I know they absolutely suck. But one happened really recently that was really funny. Like after. It wasn't funny at the time, but it was funny like after it. This story takes place about almost a year ago. I was going through a really, really bad breakup. It was 4 years long, so I was really having trouble getting over this girl. So a good friend of mine had been comforting me this whole time, and she had been kind of helping me through it. And the absolute worst happened. I started to catch feelings for my friend. Now, I'm not sure if those feelings were exactly genuine. I think I latched onto her because I was having trouble with my breakup, but oh my god. I was in love with this girl. Oh my gosh. So I had these feelings for like a few months, and we planned to go to Disneyland with a few other friends. And in my head, I was like, okay, this is the moment. At Disneyland, you are going to profess your love, you know, like a weirdo. She was going to a community college near where I lived, but I didn't end up going to college, so the people who were coming with us were friends from her community college. I didn't have any friends, so we spend all day at Disneyland. We're doing everything, and I'm hanging out with her the whole time. Looking back on it, she was not sending any romantical vibes towards me in any way. I was definitely pushing them out on her, but she was not reciprocating. But in my head, I just didn't notice that. I was still totally fair game on asking her out. You gotta shoot your shot, boys, but only if that girl is showing interest back. Gotta do your research a little bit. Gotta do your research. We can only take so much heartbreak. We're fragile creatures. Anyway, the whole day, it's just this weird me shoving my feelings on her and then her just like completely ignoring them. And oh my, looking back on it, it's so cringy. So we pretty much do everything under the sun at Disneyland, and then the time comes. It's time to profess my love. Everybody's leaving, and I ask her if she wouldn't mind waiting so I could tell her something. So I'm looking at her, and my heart is pounding so hard. I'm so nervous. Rightfully so. I was about to get friggin' destroyed. So I tell her how I feel. And she looks at me and she says, "I'm so sorry. I'm kind of in a thing with a guy at my college right now, and it's going really well, and I don't want to ruin that." Which is totally fair. It was totally fair. I totally agreed with that, and now, looking back on it, I am totally okay with it. I don't want to get in the way of anybody's happiness. But at that time, ooh, that hurt. That hurt so bad. I kind of like threw my teeth. I'm like, okay. And then I start walking away awkwardly. As I'm walking to my car, I'm in my head, I'm kind of like, you know, it's fine. We're good. We're fine. We're fine. This has happened before. You can take it. So I'm like kind of feeling okay as I'm walking to my car, and I get in my car and I begin to leave the parking structure. I get up to the little like parking kiosk that they have where, you know, they take the tickets from you and you pay. And the woman at the front asks me if I got my parking validated. And I had completely forgot. I honestly didn't know that was a thing. So she tells me without it being validated, I'll be paying like $69 for parking, which first of all is insane, Disney. If anybody on earth needs more money, it's definitely not Mickey. So this woman tells me how much it's gonna cost, and I don't know why, but her just saying that triggered something within me. All of the old emotions I've been feeling from my breakup and this past crush just came flooding to the surface. The dams couldn't hold on any longer, and I just let loose. I began just crying hysterically at my front wheel while this woman watched. I was just so in my head. Everything was just too much to handle, and I don't know why. I think I just was mad at myself for being so weird and cringy and being so stupid as to latch on to the first girl who showed me any kind of affection. I just felt like an idiot, and this woman looks at me with the kindest eyes possible and says, okay, $40 is fine. So I stop crying and look at her, and I'm like, oh, She thinks I'm crying about the money. And in my head I said, I could tell this woman that it's not about that, but I deserve something today. So I just nod my head going, yeah, here's the money. And I hand her $40 and I leave. Moral of the story, people apparently can't handle seeing a grown man cry. It's really awkward, so they'll pretty much do anything they can to get out of it, even if that means bending the rules a bit. If you're someone who's been put in the friend zone, even you ladies out there as well, don't worry about it. Forget it. Easier said than done, I know, but you want someone who's gonna love you right out of the gate instead of someone who has to be convinced. Don't forget that you're all special and you need someone who can actually see that. Anyway, that's my rant today, and I'll see you guys later. Jesus Christ.